Welcome to the Tuttle Kline Show.
Calvin!
Hey, what's going on?
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing. I don't know what goes on with that.
Yeah, I don't like change either, you know?
Yeah, no, me either.
When it says you got to have another you got to have a passcode, and I've never needed a passcode, I'm like, what the fuck did I do wrong that now I have to have like an entry passcode?
Yeah, no, but here we are.
Does Klein no longer want to do this to me? He wants to make it hard? Do this with me?
No, not at all. Not at all. So
is your wife playing around with us?
No. Well, what happens is when we schedule them, we have them all scheduled out for the rest of the year at 10:30. And then so when we go back in, like the last couple of weeks, we've actually started at 10 because of the holiday and everything. So then we have to go back in and change it back to 10:30. It's not that big of a deal, but apparently I didn't do it correctly this time.
Well, that's okay, Kevin Klein.
Here we are.
Last week I fucked it up, and this week you fucked it up. It's what two old men with technology, it's what we do.
That's right. We're good at it, damn it.
Hey, man, we got another hurricane coming to Houston.
Francine.
Son of a bitch, man.
I know.
It's like those weather controllers. They really want to mess with Houston or something like that. They're sitting in their NOAA little labs and going.
But I mean, you've had one hit. It's been a light year as far as the NOAA predictions go. But yeah, there's a couple of disturbances, but this one just kind of sprouted up out of nowhere.
Exactly, which has people in Houston going, they're fucking with us bad. You know, someday we're going to see behind the curtain and we're going to go after you fuckers.
Because you know what? Because I looked at the path, all right, and it's starting down in Mexico, you know, down by the peninsula down there. And it looks like it's just going to go straight north. I've never seen a tropical storm or hurricane just go straight north like that.
Right. So straight north as in us and New Orleans, right?
Yeah, but the good news for Houston is that instead of being on the dirty side, you'll be on the cleaner side this time if it continues on the trajectory and the path that it's supposed to. But, you know, those things never...
I don't know if you knew this or not. You probably did. There's some of us in Houston that like the dirty side.
Yes, I'm sure there are.
Hey, Francine, how dirty do you get? Yeah, I'll spank you. I'll pull your hair.
Oh, there! Wow, nice.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make anybody retch right there.
No, that's quite all right. So, but a large tropical storm or possible hurricane category 1 is what's expected between Wednesday and Thursday.
Do you miss that at all? That used to be a big thing for you, is tracking hurricanes and really being on top of the weather. I mean, when you were doing morning radio with us, I mean, you were really into that.
I miss the research. I don't miss the possible ramifications of a hurricane, the flooding, the possible roof tearing off, or the damage done to your house and the loss of life. No, I don't miss that at all.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
Kev, I'm starting to get a little worried here.
About?
Well, you know, I figure it's just you and me talking, and yeah, we throw it out there on podcast platforms and on YouTube and stuff like that. But I always thought it was just you and me having a little bit of fun. And, you know, now the problem I'm having is my neighbors are starting to listen to the podcast. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And, you know, I appreciate the listens.
Well, absolutely. We appreciate it. We need everyone we can get.
By the way, Kev, they all just press play. None of them download it.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, we need you to download the episodes, and you could take them off a couple weeks later, but the initial download is how this thing is kept score, you know?
Yeah. Yep. I know.
So yeah, I always ask everybody, and Kev, 99.9%, I just press play. I don't need it on my phone. Like we're going to like taint and pollute their phone.
Well, we might, you know, through osmosis, there might be a scourge on there.
Yeah, or, you know, like the FBI, you know, confiscates their phone. They're like, oh, you're Tuttle and Kliners. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So we were right in our assessment.
Yeah, there you go. So,
but anyway,
are they giving you feedback?
Well, for the most part, they love it. But, you know, there are some of those that are, you know, take umbrage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's some umbrage takers out there, which, you know, I'm okay with. I come to expect it a little bit throughout the career that people are going to stop, but I'm not used to it in, the post radio kind of retirement life.
Yeah, I mean, you were an egg cracker in your years on the radio. In order to make an omelet, you got to crack an egg. That's the cliche. And cracking an egg in radio is you've got to be controversial at times. And you thrived on that.
Yeah, and I'll something that I promised with this podcast is I'll always be honest, and the filter's gone and everything. People love that we just don't have any filters anymore. There's no FCC filters in terms of language. We don't have a boss or sponsors or anything like that. We can just be ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The issue though is, I'm not used to over the last couple of years since I've been in the public eye, the walk up.
Yeah. Well, the other issue is that when we were on radio, nobody knew where you lived.
Yeah, exactly.
Now they know where you live. They're your neighbors.
Yeah. And Kev, I had one, and he kind of stormed like marched out. He's a little fella, but he kind of had that little storm up walk, that little, excuse me. Hey, when did we talk about me not liking soccer? Did we do that in an episode?
Probably you maybe have mentioned it. I mean, we didn't really ever dwell on it.
Yeah, I remember doing it, obviously during the radio career, but this is somebody that listens to the podcast, and he started jumping my sack about me not liking soccer.
Oh, God forbid.
And I told him, Americans, we have our own football and it's much cooler. And then he started doing the stuff that you always do. It's the sweet art or science and shit like that. He started talking like that, the kind of things you say about soccer. It's
the beautiful game. Yeah. It's a metaphor for life.
Right. Sweet science, all that shit.
Yeah.
And he said the reason why that Americans don't embrace soccer the way the rest of the world does is America's never won a World Cup.
That makes sense.
But anyway, this little Italian dude, kind of breaks my bubble of, I'm just Tim walking to the mailbox,
Uh-huh.
And he's like, hey, I listened to your podcast. and it wasn't exactly like that, but that's what my thought in the head.
Exactly.
Little Italian dude. Hey, listen to your podcast. Like a soccer. And I'm like, nah, I mean, we got our own football here in America. I like that much, much better. He goes, you don't like a soccer because America never won a World Cup.
Okay.
And I told him, well, that shit doesn't matter at all to us. We don't give a fuck about not winning a World Cup. We won 2 world wars.
Yeah.
Including one against you, little fella.
That's right. Benito Mussolini was part of the, he was kind of a periphery dude on the Third Reich.
Yeah, he was kind of like, Ringo.
Yeah, exactly.
You had Hitler and Hirohito and then Ringo.
Yep, there he was.
He was. Oh, I should have told him that, Kev. I wish I had thought of that because he would have loved that.
Oh, absolutely would have. Yeah.
And then he actually had a little poignant thought. He goes, hey, if there's a World War III, nobody will win that one. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we all lose.
We all lose that one.
Exactly.
So it'll be 2-0, and we hope the record just stays there.
Yeah, that's one rematch you don't want to see.
No. We're good.
Yep.
We're good. Hey, Kev, do I seem different of late to you?
Well, ever since we've started doing the podcast, you've seemed different to me.
Because I had maybe you can give me some feedback on this. I haven't been in a relationship in a while.
Uh-huh.
And a friend of mine who I play golf with, he asked me, he goes, you haven't been, you haven't been in a relationship. Are you okay? He asked me if I'm okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
are you?
I get to do what I want when I want. with whomever I want. Yeah, I'm good, bro. And he's like, no, well, you're just seem different. There's something different about you. I'm like, listen, I said, if I ever get lonely, I have a couple of ladies, that also aren't down and don't want to be in relationships either. And they'll come over and they'll watch Netflix with me. And I don't have Netflix.
A lot of chilling going on.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm good, buddy. I'm good. And he's just like, do you ever get lonely though? I mean, are you ever? And I'm just like, I was tired of the question. I'm like, Batman and Superman and all those people that wear costumes and capes, they don't have Does anybody ever ask them if they get lonely?
No.
Did you ever think maybe I'm a superhero?
He hides his cape.
Maybe my love for a peaceful and crime-free Houston is more important than physical intimacy and deep connection with a woman. Maybe that's it.
And what are your crime fighting statistics? How you holding up in that angle?
They could use a little work.
It's funny that you're talking about this because this is kind of is my be honest for you this week.
Be honest. Be honest.
Because I was thinking about this very same thing as we were driving around the other day about Tim and his relationships. So be honest. If she was a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, but everything else was perfect, your symbiosis, your freak gap, whatever it is, everything else was perfect, but she was a 5. Be honest. Would she rate?
5's a little low.
Okay.
Just a little, but Kev, I got to be honest. I have done horribly with 10s. I have.
I was thinking about it.
My last 3 are 10s, and you know that, and anybody that knows me knows that. 10, 10, 10.
Okay.
I'm not exactly. If something were to happen, they don't have to be a 10 this time around.
Okay.
But 5's just a little bit low.
Uh-huh.
A problem is when you're used to being with 10s.
Yeah.
There's a certain level in order for you to get excited. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But Kev, you give me all that symbiotic shit that you're just talking about right there
on
a solid 7.5.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I would likely, in terms of a relationship.
Right.
Now
that's what I'm talking about.
Not in terms of watching Netflix, wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yes. I'm talking about going the distance.
I would probably stay away from a 10. There's just it's just too much of a headache, man. Like the problems inherent there within is, they first off 10s, they're not used to adversity. If they have adversity, they freak on it. Second off, they don't have to put up with any of your bullshit. You're just a Kleenex. They can find any dude that they want.
Yes, you have long said that since I've known you.
Yeah. So yeah, I would probably a 7.5 or an 8 would be great to go the distance with.
Okay.
If that's to ever happen again at all.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, I'm one of my friends told me, he goes, because he knows of some of the Netflix situations I'm in.
Yes.
And he's like, you better marry one of them.
That'll ruin it.
I'm like, that's a great way to fuck it up.
Yeah.
I know one thing, that I'm not the like marrying guy. I'm not husband material. But he goes, you're still in shape. You look good. You can, there's going to be a time where you can't pull that kind of a girl.
Who says?
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, says who? I mean, look at all these guys that have these marginal, features, if you will, on the outside, but they have other things with them. A good sense of humor, big dick.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say I'm a perfect example until you went with that.
and the ability to make her laugh is a big deal.
That's massive.
But I didn't see that, and if that was the case, hey, I'll just chill with my 7.5 and 8 that I get.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But that's a good. I have one for you. I'll be honest.
Okay.
And it's a little more, I guess, superfluous and silly than yours.
That's fine.
Did I use superfluous right there?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever thought about what speed eaters like Joey Chestnut's shits might look like?
Oh my God, I have. Oh yes, I have. Yeah. Yeah. I am amazed by them, but I'm also grossed out by them. Those competitive eaters. I mean, that is the height of American gluttony right there. Okay. Although there are some international competitors, nowhere near what we bring to the table. But yeah, man, I've often wondered that. How bad are your shits when you're eating 70 hot dogs in 5 minutes?
Oh my God. I just see, because Kev, far be it from me to change things up in terms of how competitions go. But to me, that's where the next competition is.
Right. Yep.
I mean, what does that thing look like? And the only problem, though,
person would be the judge.
Oh yeah, the only problem is who's going to measure that.
Exactly.
To me, any politician that's busted for corruption or scandal or anything like that should be their job, their punishment.
There you go.
They have to measure the speed eaters' shits.
We had this thing. It's 82 miles from here, and I've worn this shirt before. It's a little tourist trap called Uranus. They have one in Indiana. They have one in Indianapolis.
Really?
Yeah. And they put on earlier this year, I think for St. Patrick's Day, they put on their very first competitive eating competition, and it was how much fudge could you eat in 5 minutes, and somebody ate 13 pounds of fudge.
See, I would never do that because I like fudge and I want to be able to eat it again.
But you listen to like Joey Chestnut in interviews and stuff like that. He's not even hungry. He doesn't even like hot dogs. It is a completely competitive thing.
First off, Kevin, explain to me, how do you know that you have that as a skill?
Exactly what I wanted to know too. Have you ever seen the ESPN science breakdown of Joey Chestnut's ability?
No, but please go into some detail here.
We've measured the bite of competitive eaters at 280 pounds of force, a bite stronger than a German Shepherd's. Joey pushes the limits of stomach expansion, training his stomach to increase by roughly 400%.
So it's jaw strength and weird stomach.
Yep. I just want to know how he broke into it. Like, was it a dare? Was it a bet?
Yeah, right.
That he just like discovered something about himself going, wait a minute. I don't have to stop at 24.
But I think it was Meatballs that actually started him on it, where Fink beats the stomach.
Look at those steaming weenies. And you know what they're saying, Larry? They're saying, this is the year that Fink beats the stomach.
And now, Kev, now that also makes me wonder, like, what hidden superpowers do you or I may have we don't know about?
I know mine.
What is yours?
I have the ability to bore people. Drop of a hat, man. Get me talking.
I will say this, in social situations over the past 28 years, when it was time for us to go, we would just have Kev tell a story.
There you go. I mean, I'm every woman's dream, man. A solid 5 and a boring conversationalist.
With a tiny penis.
Trish is a saint.
Yeah, I know, man. Seriously. Seriously, she could probably go on a murder spree and God would just be like, hey, that fucker you had to deal with, come on. Come on in.
Yeah.
You deserve this. Hey, Kev, something happened last week, shocking, and you'll probably be just as shocked as I am.
I can't wait to find out.
Jonas turned 21.
Oh my God, Trish told me about that. And I'm like, you're gotta be kidding me.
Isn't that crazy?
That is absolutely insane to me. I mean, I
And,
know people grow up and get older, but I mean, I remember the day he was born.
I know, it's so crazy, man. It's and you know, I was talking to him about it, and we had a little story. I told him, I remember I walked into a bar because I was asking him, are you, because it was the day before, are you going to go tonight at midnight, or are you going to go tomorrow? And I told him I walked into a bar at midnight, at the exact moment that I turned 21 at Ball State.
Legally, anyway.
Legally, yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of which, Kev, the bouncer was laughing because he's like, dude, you've been coming here for years. and I had to act quick. So I threw it out there. I go, oh, no. My older brother and I, we look a lot alike.
Yeah, there you go.
And he laughed because he knew. He laughed.
Totally.
And then he said that this was hilarious. He goes, I'll tell you what, if you and your brother are ever here in the bar at the same time, your drinks are free all night. And I was like, oh, I'll find somebody that looks exactly like me.
Hey.
That was the tradition. The older brother turns 21. The younger brother goes to the DMV. Did I just say that?
You did. Yeah.
What's the statute of limitations on that? Am I clear on that one?
You're totally clear.
All right.
Clear.
So state of Indiana isn't going to send some SWAT team here to Houston and bust through my door and go, you gave Todd what?
But you would hope that they have more pressing issues to deal with than going back 20-something years.
Yeah, Kev, the only problem is I don't have the same point of view as the people in power. This would be a good shot for them to get me. Yeah, that's the one thing.
So how did Jay Fred celebrate?
Well, he had several things happening. Jonas is not like me. He is actually well-liked. So he starts off with a nice dinner at a good restaurant, day of, with his sister Audrey, and she buys him dinner. They have some margaritas, and she gives him a nice. As a matter of fact, I got a little video of it right here if you want to see it. Gives him a nice little poster board with some liquor attached to it with little sayings on it. I mean, Audrey's that crafty type.
Right, she always has been.
Yeah, she's always been good at that. Yeah, Kev, you remember when she's like 6, 7 years old and she's making daddy PowerPoints on why he should buy her this, that, and that.
Yep, totally. And then I remember she was the director for the community theater at about 5 years of age.
Yeah, she made some good snowdrop signs too.
She certainly did.
When she was a little girl.
Good. Yeah.
So she took him to the dinner, and then while he was at the dinner, his roommates were creating a surprise party. Nice. So as soon as he got back from the dinner, he went to surprise party, and then his birthday was on a Thursday, so you know how it is in college; it turns to Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
We didn't hear from Jonas until yesterday afternoon. Kev, also last week, a week ago from right now, this is Monday, we're recording this, Audrey was in the audience for the Bachelorette finale.
Was she
in
really?
Los Angeles. She was there.
Oh, that was really controversial.
Yeah, she was there. There was a lot of controversy there because they thought they shouldn't have replayed the proposal after Devin dumped her and all that. Devin is a George Ranch graduate.
I didn't know that.
George Ranch High School, 2014, man.
Oh, wow.
So, Audrey's future sister-in-law was friends with him, went to school with him. Audrey was only in 7th, 8th grade when he graduated.
Uh-huh.
But, she was there, and she knows Devin and all. I think his name is Devin. She was right there to just watch this freaking dumpster fire transpire in front of her.
Wow.
But yeah, it's the word on the street behind the scenes is Jen is a little bit of a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Oh, you think?
And even though Devin couldn't directly say that, I mean, that's the buzz on her. And he played it all wrong, though. He was dumb. And now he's the most hated man in America now because he didn't wait. He just wait a month after the finale, and then you just say, hey, I don't think it's going to work out. Good luck to you.
Okay, but do the producers really want him to wait? No, the producers are salivating over the way this thing ended.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. They're quote unquote we're very, very sorry
Mm-hmm.
that we played that and there's that controversy. You 27 million people who watch that and are completely outraged right now, you deserve our apology, and we are so sorry. We promise that's never going to happen again.
That's right.
You know?
Look, if you're selling yourself out on a TV reality show to try and find the love of your life, you deserve what you're getting.
Kev, exactly. To all the people who are so fucking outraged and everything like that, these are people who decided to put their shit front and center because they're attention seekers for whatever reason. Okay? The whole concept of I'm going to find somebody to marry based on, 20 to 30 people in a group and I'm going to marry them is ludicrous.
All right, who called for ludicrous?
And the idea of being one of those contestants, one of those guys, in this case, in The Bachelorette, who, I'm falling in love with you, even though last night you were tongue kissing another dude. It's stupid.
It is absolutely stupid.
And for you to be outraged just shows what a fucking idiot you are. You're an idiot. You're exactly what Ringling was talking about, man.
Yeah.
There's a sucker
born every second.
Exactly. Please. Come on, man.
Yeah. I you know what? I can honestly say I have never watched an episode of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette.
My ex was into it, so therefore I was into it. That's like Jules from Pulp Fiction. My girlfriend's a vegetarian, therefore I am a vegetarian. So this big kahuna burger is really tasty, Brad. Say what again? I'm sorry.
That's okay. One of your all-time favorite movies.
It is still to this day, Kevin Kline, and this is my all-time favorite movie.
Wow. Saying a lot.
Kev, I should talk because I've got a couple of children with some, kind of different names.
Uh-huh.
My one of my sons is Dallas Cowboys. That's his actual first name.
Yeah.
That he still wears on his school ID. It says Dallas Cowboys because that's his first name. They can't get rid of the Cowboys because his first name is actually Dallas Cowboys.
How funny.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
And then,
what's even better is he's a Miami fan.
Exactly. He loves the Dolphins. Don't say it too loud, Kev. Don't say it too loud.
I won't.
And his little brother is Timothy George Strait Tuttle.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, Kevin, that I have met the parents that just went a little too fucking far.
What'd they do?
There is a 14-year-old boy running around, ninth grader, running around in the neighborhood. You want to know what his name is?
Would I ever guess it? Probably not.
His name is Mmmkay.
No way. That's the best.
I had to double take on it too.
South Park.
Yeah, exactly. This right here became a name because his parents are such huge fans of South Park.
It's actually kind of a cool name.
Kev, I initially thought, okay, they lost a bet. He lost the fantasy football bet when his wife was like 8 months pregnant or something like that.
Yeah. No.
But no, he's like, he says, people love it. His family loves it. And you got to pronounce it that way, by the way, because if you look at, here's how it's spelled. This is serious. The first four letters are MMM. M.
Yeah.
Kay.
That's awesome.
And
awesome.
And if you don't pronounce it, if you just go Mmmkay, he'll correct you. He goes, it's Mmmkay. Mmmkay. Is that awesome? Yeah. So every day at 2:52 p.m., they walk by. They get off the bus here and they walk right by my place. And the reason I discovered it is because, I was walking the other way, I was going to go to the clubhouse. They have a great espresso machine at the clubhouse.
Uh-huh.
So I get an espresso just about every day. And I heard one was, hey, Mmmkay, and him stopping everybody and everything. It goes, it's Mmmkay. And it happened again. I thought it was just, he was messing around.
Uh-huh.
But like 3 or 4 days later, it happened again. I heard his name and I was like, I have to ask. I have to ask. I said, hey kid, come here. No, I'm not going to drag you into my place and do terrible things to you.
Right.
I said, I got to know about the name. And he just told me the whole story. Wow. I was like, as a South Park original gangster OG, which I am, and you are too, Kevin. And, I got to say, that's just the coolest shit ever.
Does he get bullied about it?
No.
Or is it just so cool that?
Dude, the kid is huge.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's a ninth grader, Kev. And I would probably have to clock on in order to take him.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't half-ass that one.
Uh-huh.
Because he's one of those, if he gets an upper hand on you, he's going to wreck your shit.
Yeah, but you think about it, if people call Michael Jordan, they call him MJ. This is really no different. It's just the pronunciation is a little bit different. Okay.
Isn't that the best, man?
That's so awesome.
Dude, his name is Mmmkay. Kev, I just want to sit in a class with him.
Don't you though?
And just like, okay, anybody know? Okay, do you know the answer? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Kev, even though it's weird when you're like a solo dude going to a football game where your kids aren't there, I have to go to one of his football games when he plays varsity and they announce their names.
Uh-huh.
Starting at left tackle. You know what I'm saying? I
know exactly what you're saying. Oh my gosh, man. If he ever got into some prominent position.
Oh my God.
President.
Kev, I told him that. I said, you can take that name and parlay that thing. Seriously.
Oh, hell yeah.
You could run for office, and there's a lot of people that love and watch South Park.
Yes.
That immediately, they don't care. I mean, you could go out and tell them, I'm going to vote for me to be a dictator and and just have the most heinous platform. And people are just be like, well, the guy's name is Mmmkay.
It can't be all that bad. It's got to be funny.
Is that the greatest shit ever?
That is awesome.
I want to meet his parents sometime.
Don't you though?
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Right up our alley.
The funny thing though is he's never seen an episode of South Park.
Oh, really?
He's never watched. He's watched a little bits and pieces of it. He just thinks the whole construction paper cartoon thing's a little weird. He doesn't like it.
Oh, wow. Oh.
But he gets it. He understands his origin story and all that stuff.
That's great. That's great.
That's just Kev. I'm gonna keep you in the loop on that one.
Yeah.
If he does have a varsity game sometime in the next couple years, and you're gonna be in Houston, we're definitely going to that game, man.
Oh, I'm holding up signs. Are you kidding?
He will have an immediate fan club.
Absolutely.
Who are the two middle-aged men rooting for Mmmkay? Mmmkay. Go, Mmmkay. Go, Mmmkay.
Hey, how would Keith Jackson call him running down the sideline for a touchdown?
Oh, look out. Mmmkay Johnson to the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 touchdown. Mmmkay. I always love Keith. You younger folks, you missed it. Keith Jackson was the greatest announcer. I loved him.
Awesome college football guy.
So we have an afternoon of what college football is all about, I think. The Michigan Wolverines 10-0. Ohio State 9-1. The Buckeyes losing to Michigan State 16-13.
He is the only announcer, Kev, in my opinion, that should have been allowed to just swear right there on TV.
It would have been great, right?
Holy shit, that sophomore is a monster. He went right through that fucking line. like a bad chicken goes through the system.
Remember his line? He's a hoss.
He's a 6'4" sophomore. That motherfucker's a hoss. God, I loved him. That was great. Yeah. Okay, Kev, let's jump into our rabbit holes, shall we?
Oh yeah.
Rabbit hole of the week.
All right, what rabbit hole did you find yourself struggling with?
Okay, well, we didn't get to rabbit holes last week, and remember you said it must be really, really good. So whenever we're in the car driving, Trish plugs her phone into the USB port, and we listen to the best of Police Scanner. Oh my God, dude!
Wait a minute. This is an actual thing. Where do you get this? I mean, where's this available? I have to check it out.
I'll have to find out what app she uses. But yeah, so what they'll do is they will call the best calls to 911. Dude, I will make wrong turns just so I can hear how this ends up. It's amazing. Oh. So the week that the week before last, so 2 weeks ago, they did a whole highlight of Detroit. Weird happens in Detroit criminally, right?
Oh my God, you could live in Detroit.
911 call. Okay, so a wife who's married, having an affair, husband comes home. The guy who's the affair ends up being the 911 caller because the woman stabs herself in the heart. Holy shit, dude.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Oh my God, man. There's just, yeah, you just, the way when you tell stories like that, you should find yourself surprised, but you don't.
No, you don't. Not at all.
Now, it would have made more sense if you would have said, instead of Detroit, anywhere in Florida.
Yeah, true.
But I'm still feeling it.
Yeah. Oh, and you would not believe, and this even happens here in Springfield, you would not believe the amount of calls, naked person on the street corner. Like yesterday we had a guy here that was less than 3 miles from the house. We actually rode by it just to see. We literally rode by to make sure that we were listening to what we were listening to.
That's awesome.
Dude was driving a blue Malibu, pulls off on the side of the road, gets out, takes all his clothes off, and he starts flailing on the ground, completely naked. And so they called the cops on him. And yeah, the cops showed up, and we rode by, and the dude was on the ground flailing, and they were trying to constrain him.
Oh, Kev.
That is a tweak, dude.
Just like Jules has to go to Amsterdam because he would dig it the most. You've got to give me this app, man. I definitely want a piece of this.
Can you see how time suck it would be?
Oh my God. I'm almost afraid. I could see me going, hey Kev, we're gonna have to cancel the podcast today. I'm listening to the scanners, man. There's a good one here.
So yeah, that's a big deal on our house right now.
I love it. That's a good one. Kev, I found myself delving into quote unquote waking up from anesthesia videos.
Oh, those are great. Like when somebody has their wisdom teeth cut out. My God, those are awesome.
And oh my God, they're so good. And you got to watch out for those because, anesthesia, that's the ultimate truth serum.
That's right.
I mean, look at Walter White. He utters under anesthesia when his wife says, hey, somebody's on the phone. He goes, which phone?
Where's your phone? Your cell phone. Did you bring it?
Which one?
Yeah. Yep.
And that basically revealed, he's a crime boss, or, she thought he was an affair or something like that, and ended his marriage.
That's it.
But, most of them that I've seen, they're really just funny. People just really funny. And they're also, they're telling the truth. They're like, you're fat.
You look a little weird, but you're cute.
I'm just waiting for one. I keep watching it. I'm waiting for one where somebody reveals, they committed a murder or a huge crime or something like that.
Oh my God, dude, that would be crazy.
Because that's how. I mean, I've been under a couple times myself.
Any defense attorney worth their salt would get that thrown out, though.
Yeah.
They could easily defend that one.
Yeah. He was just watching a movie and he thought he was Walter White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely under anesthesia. I can't imagine that would even hold up.
No, but you know what? Hearing about it could put the cops on the trail at least going, he admitted what?
Yeah.
You know, that's a cold case. We might have to do some digging.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that to happen.
Wow. That would be good. There may be a possible movie for you.
There you go.
Another movie to write.
That I'll think about and not write. Kev, I had another one I want to tell you about. These are so cool. And the YouTube site, maybe you could put just a small clip up of it. Quantum Tech HD.
I don't know what that is.
Survival experts building these incredible shelters in the cold wilderness, minimal tools, genius ingenuity. I couldn't stop watching it. It's just brilliant. You know, they dig they dig it in like in the side of the hill, like perfect, places of shelter, and they dig into the dirt like benches and beds and everything like that. And the woodwork they do, they just make these really strong shelters. I was like, this is freaking awesome. I mean, basically, if we had a post-apocalypse, and you had like just minimal tools, like an axe with a hammer back and some nails and stuff like that, you can basically build your own shelter.
Oh, dude, haven't you ever seen those two African brothers that dig a whole mansion out of a little? They just chisel sand away. You never seen that? Oh yeah. Oh, they put it. Oh, I'm putting it up right now. They put a pool. They built this house in the ground with a chisel. And it's all sped up because I'm sure it takes a while, but they go and get bamboo and they import water and then they put a pool in the middle of their house. Oh, yeah.
Man, would that be the greatest to have those skills?
No, because it takes forever and it's all manual labor.
Shit.
No.
I've been avoiding manual labor all of my life. One of the most poignant things that my father said after, watching me like completely botch a simple task that he gave me is, son, you better learn how to use your brain or your mouth.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. And initially I was like, I hope you mean mouth as in speaking, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I like to watch. I'm just a watch.
End result's great. Don't want to get there.
I'm a hard worked voyeur. I don't need to get my hands dirty, but I'll admire the shit out of what you're doing.
I'll live there.
I'll live there when you're done. I'll be at the hotel till you're done.
That's right.
That's funny.
That is awesome.
Yeah, you're right. What was I thinking? I was like, I want to do that. No, I don't want to do that.
Hell no.
I don't want to do that. If we have a post-apocalypse, I'll go find, one of the houses that like survived, and I'll move in there by force.
That's right.
If somebody else is in there, I'll be like, hey, sorry, you didn't arm yourself enough beforehand. I have a lot of weapons, and you'll be leaving.
Yeah, you'll talk your way in.
And by the way, all of the stuff that you were saving for this, that's mine now. Sorry, I got kids.
Yeah.
and we're Tuttles, so we're gonna live.
14th generation.
We're gonna live. Yeah, we're gonna keep this thing going. Have a nice day, though.
Yeah. Great work.
There's no Sasquatches out there. Trust me. There's no Sasquatch. Watch the bears, though. Be careful of the bears. All right, Kevin. Time for our top three.
Just when you thought they couldn't count any higher, it's Tuttle Kline's top three.
Top three dead celebrities or dead historical figures you'd like to ask one question of, and they have to answer it truthfully. And I know that's one, for those unaware, We switch off every other week. It's his top three or my top three, and we don't know what's coming.
No.
And that's kind of a juicy one or whatever. I probably should let you look at that first.
No. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, the first one that came to my mind was Jeffrey Epstein. Did you really kill yourself, Jeff?
Actually, even more than that, we pretty much know that he was murdered.
Okay.
I mean, even the forensics of it, the snap neck and all that stuff. I mean, he was murdered.
Okay.
The question to ask Epstein is, who's on the list?
There you go.
Not just the plain list, because there are people on the plain list that didn't partake in the pedophile shit.
Okay.
You'd ask him, hey, who do you got the tape? Who do you have the video of? Who did you have the video of?
That's a good question.
That's the question you want to ask Epstein.
That is. Yep, that is.
We know we're about 99.5% sure that he was murdered. Yeah. And that list being sealed and not released tells us, how high that goes, and pretty much confirms that he was murdered too. They can't have him alive.
Nope. Okay.
So
we got Jeffrey Epstein. Just because he's the guy that I kind of try and model my life after, Winston Churchill. And
what would the question be?
The question for Churchill would be, what's the best bourbon or whiskey you ever had? Because he was pretty much drunk.
Good one.
That's the only aspect of his life that I don't try and model myself after.
And Kev, I have to ask this. Please allow me a follow-up question, because now I'm intrigued.
Okay.
How do you model your life after Winston Churchill?
Oh, okay. Integrity, trustworthiness, truthfulness, and I won't ask anybody to do anything I'm not willing to do myself.
Good one.
Yep. Those are the 4 traits.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Did you see the movie about him with Gary Oldman?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that movie.
I've read 3 books on him.
Oh, Kev,
his great grandson lives in Houston.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah, no, I'm friends with him. His great grandson lives in Houston.
Is he a Churchill?
No, he's not a Churchill.
Okay, so it went maternal.
Right.
Yep. Okay, all right. Wasn't it not cool? And was it true? I have to know if it's true, because it just doesn't seem. Did Winston Churchill really ride the train to get the people's feedback?
Yes.
He did that.
Yeah, he was big on that. He was never about being prime minister for anything else than leading the country and bringing it back to prosperity. Politicians hated him. They couldn't stand him because he was brash, because he was outspoken, because he was truthful. But all he wanted to do was help the people. That's it. And so that's the way that he would do it, would get on the train and go ride and ask people.
Now, of course, you can't do that now, because the powerful people that don't like you will have you killed.
Dude, I was watching the other day, and it's such a fucking sad commentary on the way politics is in this country. Both candidates for president have glass partitions around them, bulletproof partitions around them now to go out in public speak. Both.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And Kev, it's not wacko lone gunman. It's the system. It's the establishment.
It's the optics, though.
It's terrible. That's why. I mean, I still have my doubts, even though he will destroy her for real in the vote. I have my doubts whether he will be, sworn in again on Inauguration Day.
Okay.
But if he is, he's got to have tribunals, and nobody is off the hook.
Well, he just said the other day he's going to go after people that
you have to. You have to bring down the establishment. It's pure evil now. It's just
too big.
It's overt evil now. And I don't. You have to not care like how rich somebody is, like how powerful a position they are in all aspects. I'm talking billionaires. I'm talking corporate CEOs. I'm talking government. I'm talking bureaucracy. I'm talking the bureaucrats who do the work. I'm talking the media. I'm talking Hollywood. I'm talking the tech industry. I'm talking academia. All of these evil fucks need to be brought to a tribunal trial. And if they're found guilty of treason or crimes against humanity, they need to be executed. They just do. I mean, you have to do it. Otherwise, this is not going to stop.
Oh no, it's circular.
This evil is not going to stop. It's been happening since 1963. It's gotten way out of hand. They used to be good at, kind of camouflaging it, but they're not good at that anymore. They're overt, and it needs to be stopped.
Okay. Well, getting back to the top three, I'm going to go in a completely different direction, but no.
Kevin's like, hey, how do I slide back from this shit? Motherfucker's talking about tribunals now.
Trump said it the other day. He said, if I get elected, he goes, I'm going after people.
You have to. You do. I mean, there's no other choice now. It is so out of hand and so obvious. I mean, there is an axis of evil within our nation that needs to be shut down. And I'm sorry. And for me, me saying that, first off, I want to make this clear. I am not suicidal. I love my life. And second off, if they decide to invade my computer or whatever and download something on there to bust me out, I never did that. Yeah. It's a setup. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you have to do now if you speak out.
Got to cover your bases. CYA.
Exactly. But I'm at the point in my life where I just don't care. It's like my children's future and their freedom is more important than mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? People have to speak out. I mean, it is just so obvious and ugly, and you can't be afraid to speak out. But yeah, I mean, it's just, Kev, you've always been a nice little baseline of, okay, I take facts in. You've always been a solid baseline.
Yeah.
To my, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even and can tell.
Know what?
Like how fucked up this shit has gotten.
Oh, I will unequivocally say that I trust nothing anymore. No, I don't. I nothing that the media tells me, nothing that the government tells me do I trust. And I think that the government has gotten way too big. Way too big.
And their number one priority is not to serve us. They couldn't give a fuck less about us. Their number one priority is to protect themselves.
Sure.
At all costs. Yeah. And that you cannot go on like that. That needs to stop.
It's unhealthy.
It's unhealthy. It's ridiculous. And if our founding fathers were, to just come to Earth right now for one day and look around, they go, what the fuck is going on here? Are you serious?
There you go. There's another question I could ask George Washington. What do you think of your country now?
Yeah. What do you think? How we handled protecting our Constitution? Where are you at on that, GW?
But my third question would have been to Joe DiMaggio. Yeah. What did Maryland taste like? Fucking creepy as that, Klein.
God.
Marilyn Monroe, he was married to her.
That's awesome, Cav.
Of course, I could ask JFK the same thing.
Yeah. And Sam Giancana. And Bobby Kennedy.
Yeah.
Okay, those are good. Cav, I don't have 3, I have 4, and I have to do all 4 if that's okay.
I just did 4.
Did you?
Well, George Washington, I was just, playing off of that, but
first off, in regards to what we've been talking about, and just to put it to bed, I'll throw it out right away, is I'd want to talk to Howard Hunt.
Okay.
He was a CIA, he did the Watergate break-in with G. Gordon Liddy.
Uh-huh.
But he's also been seen, and confirmed that he was in Dallas on November 22nd, 1963. He admitted on his deathbed to his sons. His sons say that he was part of the plot and a major player in the assassination.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he told his sons that the Grassy Knoll shooter was a French assassin. Kevin, I told you this years ago. Lucien Sarti.
Yes, you mentioned that name.
is his name, and he's the guy who fired the shot. I would just have to ask him, just to confirm all the details. What do you know about JFK's assassination, Howard?
Okay.
And he would just answer everything.
Sounds like he'd be very forthcoming.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he felt horrible on his deathbed. He's like, man, I got to get this out. And he told his sons.
Okay.
I would have to ask Nicole Simpson, who killed you?
Oh, good one. Good one.
Because she's, she knows.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
And can confirm it,
Yeah. Well, I think we all know.
Well, we all know, but just so, you can have that,
irrefutable proof. Yeah.
Exactly. She's like, yeah, that all that glove fit was bullshit. That motherfucker did it.
And she rhymes.
And she rhymes it too. Good one. I just riffed that.
You rhymed it. I just pointed it out.
I just riffed that. And Kev, even though I have faith and I'm a believer, I would love to ask Jesus Christ, hey, are you really the Son of God?
Well, that was one that immediately came to mind. And I'm like, I don't know if I need to go blasphemous.
No, just so you can, show the what do you call it when they don't believe in religion?
Atheists or agnostics?
Yeah, the atheists just say, hey, here it is right here, man.
Yeah.
I got the question. I can hear it is on video.
Yeah. Yeah, the atheists believe that there is no God. Agnostics, they question it.
Yeah, exactly.
There may be, there may not be. That's the difference.
Exactly. And then, Kev, I got to ask Adolf Hitler.
Okay. Yeah, I thought about that too.
When and where did you really die?
Okay.
Because there is a lot of evidence, and this became a thing that I was really into about a year and a half, 2 years ago, of they got him out. The person that quote unquote committed suicide with Ava Braun was one of his lookalikes. Because, at towards the end, everybody was trying to kill him. He had lookalikes everywhere.
Absolutely. I knew that.
Yeah. So the person that was found in the bunker by the Soviets was one of his lookalikes, was not him.
There is actual speculation or maybe even evidence that he escaped or somebody pulled him out and he lived.
He got out of there. Look this stuff up. It's fascinating, Kevin. There's a lot of, as a matter of fact, there's a picture of a very aged and elderly guy that looks exactly like Adolf Hitler. Yeah, there's the story is he realized in the last year, okay, we are not gonna win this war. He realized he fucked up by both bringing America in on this shit and having both fronts. The Western Front towards Europe, which the U.S. had joined in, and going into the Soviet Union was dumb. And he realized that our probability, even though he was fucking crazy, he wasn't a complete idiot. He realized our probability of winning this war now is maybe 10%.
I don't even think it was that high.
So he started, he was saying, I have 10%. But so he was thinking of an out plan, and the rumor has it that he executed the out plan. As a matter of fact, not only him, but a lot of quote unquote hierarchy from the Nazi party at the very, very end got into a submarine and went across the ocean and stopped in Argentina and got out in Argentina and lived a retirement life with huge money, gold reserves and everything like that in Argentina for decades.
Wow. Fascinating.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So my curiosity then, because I haven't read any of this, but my curiosity then would ask, well, then how did he just give up killing Jews? He just like turned the faucet off? Like one day he turns the faucet on, I'm going to kill a whole bunch of people. I'm going to commit a genocide. And then I got to escape, so I can't do that anymore.
Well, yeah, Kev, when you have that realization, okay, the entire world, they hate me.
Yeah.
Probably I went a little too far.
Probably.
you change a little bit.
You do. Yeah.
And who knows? He just may have been this nice spinster guy with a funny mustache, old guy that, tossed kids on the Argentinian streets, a little candy here and there and said, have a very nice day.
Wow.
Probably got away from that shit.
Yeah.
A lot of people, Kev, they have that moment of clarity, if you will.
Yes, that's what it's called.
You know what? I'm kind of an asshole.
Yeah, even Bill Burr says after you get punched in the face, you have time to reflect on it. Yeah, I was being a dick back there.
I was being that exterminating an entire that was not cool.
No.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe he changed.
Hey,
I
man,
don't know.
If Hitler can have a moment of clarity, then there's hope for all of us.
I just, you just wish he would have, maybe like towards the very end of his life, which they say was, early 70s or something like that. That if he just had a press conference.
That would, yeah.
All right, here we go. You guys were right. I was very wrong.
First question comes to us from Mmmkay Johnson.
Well, let me tell you this, Mmmkay.
That's funny.
That's
funny.
Stupid, man.
Yeah, but what are we? We're stupid. So it's right in line with our own selves.
Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
I just got to say this. I know that you're looking to move, and Kansas City is your number one target, right?
I
thought you were going to go to Kansas City, and I was like, boy, that's a great time to go to Kansas. Coming off an NFL Week 1, the Chiefs. I mean, can they even be beat, man?
Well, if they can be beat if the referees were not in on it. Dude, that guy, every fucking play, he didn't line up right. His head is behind the belt line of the center. And then his first step, always before the snap. And they never call him in. And it's every time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's every time.
Did you notice that, or did you read about that somewhere?
Oh, no, I noticed it. I noticed it last year. And I noticed it again. But I can't say anything because everybody in the house is a Chiefs fan.
Oh, shit. You know what you may need to do?
Huh?
Is because they started the reason why Jason Kelsey got busted on when they used to do the Philly what is that one play?
The brotherly shove.
Yeah, when they used to do that, he used to adjust the ball to give them an edge. He used to spread the ball out far. And, he did it every time. And until an anonymous email to the league from a fan said, hey, man, he's doing this every time, he got busted then from it.
Yeah.
So you may have to write don't tell your Kansas City Chief family and friends that you're doing it. You just may have to write an email to the NFL saying, hey, the Chiefs left tackle is offsides or, jumping every time.
And what does the league know and what do the Chiefs know to highlight Rashee Rice so much in that first game? Is he not going to get suspended? Is he not going to spend jail time?
I think he has to, right?
You would think.
I was surprised he was in there that game.
I was surprised he was in there, but then I was even more surprised that they targeted him 6 times.
He's the guy who had the accident in Dallas over
he was racing a Corvette and a Lamborghini down the 635 in Dallas and ends up wrecking it. And then what does he do?
Walks
he and
away.
all of his friends grab some sort of a suitcase and leave. Just walk away. Yeah.
They call that the Ted Kennedy.
Right, yeah. Chappaquiddick, yeah.
Pull the Ted.
Yeah, pull the Ted. Yeah. But if you're not
which when you're rich and famous, you can do.
Exactly. But if you're not hiding something, you don't walk away with a suitcase.
Oh, yeah.
What's
in it's the second biggest inquiry on the contents of a suitcase outside of Pulp Fiction's suitcase.
Yeah.
Has Tarantino ever answered what's in Marcellus Wallace's suitcase?
I've never heard. No, I've never heard it.
There are people saying that it was Marcellus Wallace's soul.
Okay. Makes sense.
And that's why you see Marcellus Wallace in Pulp Fiction have the Band-Aid on the back of his neck because his soul was pulled out from there.
Aha. Really makes sense now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever did that. Anyway, how he continued to play is beyond me. He must know something. He must have some pictures on Goodell or something.
Or was a hell of a lawyer.
Yeah, because that's crazy talk. But yeah, Kev, it's going to be a fun. Your family with the Chiefs. I mean, they look strong.
We found out that Dak is $60 million a year.
I think Troy Lance in the last preseason game when he threw 5 interceptions freaked Jerry out so much that Jerry's like, all right, just get it done.
Okay, so if Dak Prescott is worth $60 million a year,
he's not,
and never won a Super Bowl, never gone to a Super Bowl, Mahomes has to easily be 150.
It's just going to continue to escalate until Mahomes or Josh Allen or somebody on that level, it comes up, their contract comes due, and they just go $1 billion.
I don't know if you read this or not, but Mahomes will not be the first $100 million a year athlete.
Who will be?
Luka Doncic.
Really? Yeah. You think he's going to get it?
Yep.
So what you're telling me, Kevin, is Dallas and Timmy better work on their basketball skills.
Exactly. Well, look at what Boston did. They signed Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Both make $300 million a year. They signed both of them to $300 million contracts.
Okay, so I'm just going to send a message out now to my 13-year-old son, Dallas, and my 8-year-old son, Timmy. You think you're coming to Dad's for the weekend for a relaxing getaway? No, we're having 2-a-days.
Yeah, candy draft first and get your ass on the court.
Let's go. Let's go.
Sugar up, boy.
All right, Kev, this has been fun. I got to run.
Yeah, enjoy.
Y'all make sure you like, follow, and you got to do the download thing. I mean, that's fine if you press and play. We appreciate it. I know 99.9% of you do that, but if like 5% of you would come off of that and, hit the download thing, that would be really, really great. Give us a rating. Check out our merchandise on the Tuttle Kline Facebook. Kev, what do you have coming up in your world-famous Fuzzy Mike podcast this week?
This week is episode number 100, and it is Brandy Roderick.
Well, congratulations on episode number 100.
Thanks, buddy. Yep.
And Brandy Roderick is a fantastic guest. She was an extreme hottie back in the 90s, right?
She was Playmate of the Year in 2001, and she was on Baywatch with, let's check this shit out. Baywatch, the most watched TV show in history, 1.1 billion viewers per week.
Is that what it was?
1.1 billion per week.
Internationally. Yeah, internationally.
Yeah. Yep. So, and I started out with a poem that completely freaked her out.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to watch just for that.
Yeah, get it out of the way early. It's right at the beginning.
Kevin has had some creepy poems for people like Linda Cardellini, creepy poem for Gwyneth Paltrow, creepy poem for, what's her name from Little Big Town?
Kimberly from Little Big Town.
And others. They've been fantastic. So that right there is reason enough to make sure you download his latest episode 100 from his Fuzzy Mike podcast. Kev, it's been a blast, buddy.
Same here, man. Take care. Have a great week.
Later.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle Kline Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. And you can get more Kline on his podcast, The Fuzzy Mike, with new episodes on Tuesday. Stay fuzzy, friends. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle Kline Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.